in the persecution of our Prime Minister, His Excellency Simon Ekpa. Finland has placed itself on the wrong side of history. We remain confident that when September comes, which is next week, the truth will prevail and His Excellency Simon Ekpa will walk free. Because it is clear to the world that it is not Biafra leaders who should be standing trial, but the Nigerian authorities themselves for war crimes and for terrorism. The current Finnish government has failed systematically, leading to the unjust detention of our Prime Minister, His Excellency Simon Ekpa. The actions of the Finnish leadership, headed by Alexander Stubb and Petteri Orpo, undermine the genuine efforts of Finnish institutions. The kidnapping of His Excellency Simon Ekpa contradicts every meaningful contribution Finland has sought to make in global affairs. The system in Finland subjects innocent citizens to psychological torture, trapped in endless cycles of deliberate and shambolic court processes that have no basis in law, just like they did to innocent Biafrans living in Finland.
Alright, depending on your time zone and your location. Tata about the 30th day of August 2025. And yesterday about the 29th, when the State of Union address by the USB government. During that broadcast, Dr. NGOZI ORABUEZE addressed for Biafran on so many issues and topics that has been on ground for days, months, and weeks now. So in this particular broadcast, Dr. NGOZI ORABUEZE kukwara a lot and elaborated on the final judgment on the case of Mazi Simon Ekpa, which is to come on the 1st of September, which is just around the corner. So we like you set load and watch this particular video from beginning to the end. In a previous update I brought about the case ongoing in Finnish court about the final judgment on this case of Mazi Simon Ekpa on the 1st of September. So that day the final judgment will be passed. If it is the bailing, if it is the freedom of Simon Ekpa, I don't want the update. So in this particular video, Dr. NGOZI ORABUEZE kukwara a lot that has been happening in Biafra land and so many things, so many topics. So opening my name is in this particular broadcast. I want you to sit back and relax and watch this video from beginning to the end. In this particular video, Dr. NGOZI ORABUEZE kukwara about the detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and so many, the rising insecurity in Anibu. So many things was discussed. Share your thoughts on the comment box after watching the video and do well to share. And those we won't this particular update. Watch the rest of the video, guys. I'll be right back.
Who redeclared and ushered in the redeclaration of the independence of United States of Biafra, our nascent nation, to the world on November 29, 2024. And at this present time, she is the one leading the United States of Biafra and keeping the mandate. And believe me, this lady is qualified, has the ability, the guts, and all it takes to lead this United States of Biafra at this moment as the surrogate of our Prime Minister. And she is keeping the mandate. I am very happy and proud to welcome, our Deputy Prime Minister and Chief of Staff, Her Excellency, Dr. NGOZI ORABUEZE. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you, FAMD. Thank you so much for that warm welcome and introduction. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Biafrans and friends of Biafrans. I appreciate that speech from Michael Rubin. Thank you so much for that, for being part of what we do by the second, by the minute, privately and publicly. Thank you so much. Thank you, Honorable Christopher, Honorable Uche, those that are on the background to ensure that today's speech and today's event is very successful. Thank you so much for what you do. I want to use this opportunity to welcome everyone to the State of the Nation address today, August the 29th, 2025. First, I'm not going to fail in recognizing our leader, Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu. We thank you for your perseverance. We thank you for what you do. We thank you for the steps you've taken to ensure that our people do not cohabit with reintegrated terrorists brought in by the Nigerian government into Nigeria and into Biafra land. We thank you. We also want to use this opportunity to remember our Prime Minister, His Excellency Simon Ekpa. We thank you for your resilience. We thank you for what you do. We thank you for your actions to ensure that we Biafrans, who are mostly Christians, are not murdered in our thousands every single day. As many of you are aware, Nigeria has been declared the most dangerous country in the world for Christians to live. Biafrans are Christians. We thank you, His Excellency, Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. I want to use this opportunity to thank the United States of Biafran government cabinet members who are working behind the scene every day, publicly and privately, to ensure that we build one of the best, one of the fairest, one of the exemplary nation in Africa and in the world. Thank you so much, the United States of Biafran government cabinet members, for what you do every day. I also want to use this opportunity to thank the United States of Biafra Liberation Army, the United States of Biafra Defense Forces, the United States of Biafra Navy, Air Force, and the police. We thank you for what you do. We thank you for defending our land from the reintegrated terrorists brought in by the Nigerian state, wearing military and police uniform with AK-47, killing our people, kidnapping our people, locking them up in different DSS dungeons, in cells across Nigeria and across Biafra land. Killing them, harvesting their organs, raping our women, burning our homes, destroying our farms, economically strangulating Biafrans. We thank you for standing up at this time with the declaration of the United States of Biafra on November 29th, 2024 in Lahti, Finland, after over 50 million Biafrans have voted to exit Nigeria through a self-referendum, and after over 1,000 Biafrans converged in Lahti, Finland from across the world to vote and declare our independence. We thank our United States of Biafra military for continuing to defend our land today. Thank you so much for what you do. I thank all the heads of missions across the world that are propagating Biafra, propagating our mission, propagating what we do as a big people. I thank you so much. I thank all the 40 state governors in Biafra land with your commissioners that are working day and night to ensure that your states are fully protected from the reintegrated terrorists, the reintegrated Fulani terrorists sent in by the Nigerian state in Biafra land. Thank you so much for what you do every day. I thank all the stakeholders. I thank all our allies. I thank all our lobbyists, all the people that are helping us to build one of the best nations in the world, which is already in motion. I thank you all for what you do. Fellow Biafrans, patriots, and friends of freedom, happy 9-month independence anniversary today. Today marks our 9th month independence. I speak to you today on behalf of our government, our leader, our Prime Minister, and our proud people, the proud people of Biafra, the proud people of the United States of Biafra. This is a moment that demands truth, courage, and unity. In recent months, the United States of Biafra has endured some of the most aggressive assaults on our dignity and our very rights to exist. Yet, at the same time, we have secured some of the most remarkable victories in defending our sovereignty. Our enemies exposed. The Nigerian regime has been exposed before the world. not through our words or what we do, but through the verdict of well-constituted courts in different countries across the world. A Canadian court has ruled that Nigeria's ruling class and their political parties meets the definition of terrorists, as they were deeply implicated in acts of political violence, subversion of democracy, and electoral bloodshed, inflicting harm and terror on Nigerians and Biafrans. A Kenyan court has condemned Nigeria's criminal abduction of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who was renditioned from Kenya to Nigeria. Right in our homeland, the High Court in Enugu has affirmed our lawful right to independence. There was also the discharge and acquittal of 4 innocent Biafrans by the Finnish authorities, despite Finland's fishing expedition on behalf of the Nigerian government. Our 4 Biafran citizens were eventually set free after being illegally detained by the Finnish authorities. The very same so-called evidence used to justify their arrest was later dismissed as baseless, and the case was dropped. Yet, these Biafrans were unjustly held for a month under conditions tantamount to solitary confinement by the Finland government. These are not opinions. They prove that Nigeria's leadership functions as a terror entity, trampling on human rights, violating international law, and facilitating transnational repression. Just like Michael Rubin, who talked on the video before I started. We all listened to him. He talked about the criminality, the genocide, the aggression of the Nigerian state to Biafran people. On the basis of the Canadian court verdict, we now declare that all political parties and individuals representing Nigeria within Biafra territory are proscribed as terrorist organizations. These include the APC, PDP, ABGA, Labour Party, AAC, NPP, and any other parties or groups that act under Nigeria authority. They are all united in one mission: to kill Biafrans, to suppress our freedom, and to protect the interests of the Nigerian terror regime. From this day forward, they are recognized as agents of terror in our land. And the Biafra people must treat them as such, because no election organized by any terrorist entity will ever be permitted in our land. I repeat, no election organized by any terrorist entity, which includes all the current Nigerian political parties that have been labeled, that have been branded as terrorists, will ever be permitted in Biafra land. Finland's complicity and the unjust detention of our Prime Minister. Our work in exposing the enemies of Biafra has also led bare Finland's own complicity against our nation by siding with Nigeria in the persecution of our Prime Minister, His Excellency Simon Ekpa. Finland has placed itself on the wrong side of history. We remain confident that when September comes, which is next week, the truth will prevail and His Excellency Simon Ekpa will walk free. Because it is clear to the world that it is not Biafra leaders who should be standing trial, but the Nigerian authorities themselves for war crimes and for terrorism. The current Finnish government has failed systematically, leading to the unjust detention of our Prime Minister, His Excellency Simon Ekpa. The actions of the Finnish leadership, headed by Alexander Stubb and Petteri Orpo, undermine the genuine efforts of Finnish institutions The kidnapping of His Excellency Simon Ekpa contradicts every meaningful contribution Finland has sought to make in global affairs. The system in Finland subjects innocent citizens to psychological torture, trapped in endless cycles of deliberate and shambolic court processes that have no basis in law, just like they did to innocent Biafrans living in Finland. His Excellency Simon Ekpa submitted over 200 pages documenting the plight of Biafrans to the office of former Finnish President Tarja Halonen. The current Finland President, Alexander Stubb, has the information about the subjugation of Biafrans in the hand of the current Nigerian government. Yet, today, our Prime Minister languishes in unjust incarceration by the Finnish government headed by Alexander Stubb. On August 24, 2025, the Finland Minister of Interior, Mari Rantanen, wrote on Twitter, "As long as the country is up to its ears in debt and services for its own citizens are lagging, we cannot virtue signal and daydream everywhere." Yet, while she speaks of debt and domestic struggles, her government, headed by Alexander Stubb, presides over the unjust detention of our Prime Minister. What greater hypocrisy over the unjust detention of our Prime Minister? What greater hypocrisy can there be than a government that claims it cannot afford the virtue signal, yet has all the resources to kidnap, suppress, and persecute the innocent? Internal enemies. Certain individuals have long been used to derail the full protection of our land. The Nigerian state has deliberately manipulated Biafrans to turn against one another. Yet, through transparency in our government, we have exposed the regime's tactics of using compromised Biafrans against their own people. But the people of Biafra are no longer deceived. We can read between the lines. We know that we have only one legitimate government, which is the United States of Biafra government that was declared in Lahti, Finland on November 29, 2024, led by my humble self, Dr. NGOZI ORABUEZE, who is the surrogate to the Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa. And in this final push to safeguard our sovereignty and territorial integrity, unity is our greatest weapon. Our common enemy is clear. The reintegrated terrorist hired by the Nigerian state, wearing Nigerian military and police uniform, giving AK-47, shipped to Biafra land to arrest, kill, maim innocent Biafrans. These are common enemies. The illegitimate and the legitimized governors of the Southeast and South collaborating with the Nigerian forces to kill our people, to give them lands, acres of lands, where they occupy to unleash mayhem on our people. The corrupt politicians and killer squads, such as Operation Udogachi, Ebubago, Agune Chamber, so-called special forces, the Fulani militias, these are the common enemies that are not allowed in Biafra land. We will use everything legally allowed to ensure they leave our land. United States of Biafra is a sovereign nation, is an independent nation. We do not want terrorists in our land. These enemies, they slaughter our people, rape our women, harvest their organs, destroy our homes, destroy our farmlands in a campaign of systemic genocide and economic sabotage. We must protect our land. We must protect our people. Despite these attacks, the United States of Biafra has moved forward with purpose. We've achieved a lot of legal victories for the Biafran people. We now have several decisive international rulings that confirm Nigeria's crime and affirm our right to independence. These international court rulings have declared Nigeria as a terrorist state, not the United States of Biafra. Our diplomatic reach. We now have several decisive international rulings. We have expanded our voice to parliaments, human rights groups, and international media outlets worldwide. Many of them support the United States of Biafra. Many of them support our independence. Many of them support us to protect our land from the reintegrated terrorists brought in by Nigerian government. Many of them are backing up what we are doing by the seconds, by the minutes, by the weeks, and by the months. I want to use this opportunity to thank them. Humanitarian relief. We have delivered food, medicine, and aid to our people in the 40 states of Biafra, despite Nigeria's attempts to starve us into submission, to brand millions of innocent Biafrans worldwide, like myself, as terrorist financiers, and to pressure financial institutions across the globe into blocking Biafrans from carrying out legitimate transactions. We've extended support to millions of Biafrans whose breadwinners have been killed or imprisoned by the Nigerian state. Many of them are locked up in Nigerian DSS dungeons, in police custodies, in military dungeons across Nigeria and Biafra land. We must help the orphans they left behind. We must help their families, their children that have dropped out of school. We must help their wives, their husbands, whose breadwinners have been arrested by the Nigerian state and locked up in different cells across Nigeria and in Biafra land. That is why we do our fundraisers to help these innocent Biafrans whom the Nigerian state continue to kill and subject their breadwinners into hardship. That is why we do the fundraisers we do, to help these people so they don't die, to help our family members and to build our new nation. We will continue to do that. No one can do that for us except ourselves. Countless communities in Biafran land have been displaced by the Nigerian state. Their homes have been burned. Their families have been devastated by the regime's brutality. We must continue to help these people. We must continue to build these people. We must continue to help our loved ones, whom the Nigerian state continue to kill their breadwinners. The global awareness through the United States of Biafra satellite radio, our media campaigns, and the dedicated efforts of our lobbyists, the voice of Biafra is now being heard on every continent. Diplomatic mission. In addition to our headquarters in Washington, D.C., the United States of Biafra has registered and established diplomatic missions across the world. We continue to expand this network, and Biafrans will be regularly updated as our heads of mission work diligently in service to our nation and its people. As a newly restored nation, one of our most critical steps towards international recognition is the ceaseless pursuit of global diplomatic engagements. We provide consular services to Biafrans and offer guidance to all those interested in Biafra, ensuring that no Biafran is left without protection. At the same time, we affirm that the United States of Biafra is a reliable and trustworthy partner in diplomatic engagement worldwide. And we thank those countries that have been reaching out to the United States of Biafra government for partnership in different areas. Thank you so much. IHL trainings. Our armed forces and government officials have been actively participating in courses and trainings on international humanitarian law to ensure that discipline in our self-defense and collective defense is maintained in line with international best practices. This reaffirms our uncompromising stance that no criminal action or war crime will ever be tolerated in our land under the guise of fighting for Biafra, while in reality they are serving the terrorist regime of Nigeria in its attempt to demonize our nation. Discipline remains the cornerstone of all we do. We remain open and committed to working with human rights organizations and other institutions that provide updated courses and trainings in IHL. All the United States of Biafra military undergoes international humanitarian law trainings. This is very important to me. This is very important to our government. This is very important to the United States of Biafra government. We cannot allow recklessness to be the bane of our military. The unity of purpose. The Biafra people stand more united today than ever before. rejecting all attempts to divide us by the Nigerian state, who uses the divide and conquer tactics. We have only one legitimate government, the government of the United States of Biafra, headed by my humble self at this time, until our leaders join us. Anyone who does not stand with this government is, by choice or by compromise, standing with the Nigerian regime. We will treat that person as a Nigerian person, as a Nigerian terrorist person. The United States of Biafra currency. We are currently in the process of producing a new Bank of Biafra series of currency notes for both domestic and international use. The new currency, denominated in Ejema, will officially replace the Biafra pound, last issued by the Republic of Biafra. These notes will incorporate the most advanced anti-counterfeiting technologies and will be printed by one of the world's leading security companies, printing companies. And I want to use this opportunity to thank this printing company that has offered to assist this new nation in the printing of our currency. The official date of issuance and the venue for the special launch ceremony will be announced in due course. The Biafra currency will soon be in use across our land, and as history shows, our good money will always drive away the bad money. The plight of Biafrans will not be ignored. Although some may deliberately ignore the plight of the Biafran people, and others may simply be unaware, Biafrans will continue to advance on the path of recognition and nation building. The application and issuance of our Biafra national ID cards are currently ongoing, and we are in the process of finalizing our Biafra international passport, which will enable Biafrans to travel to countries that recognize our nation. And I want to use this opportunity to thank those countries you know yourself that have already shown interest in the recognition of the United States of Biafra and ready to welcome the first batch of the United States of Biafra citizens that will visit your nation. Thank you so much. In addition, work is also on the way to provide the Biafra driver's license. Our next steps. We will continue to strengthen stability and peace within our polity, which we have achieved to a very high degree. We'll continue to deepen alliances with nations across the world and ensure that every Biafran is protected wherever they may be. Above all, we will keep mobilizing Biafrans worldwide to speak with one united voice for justice, for freedom, for equity, for fairness, for the United States of Biafra. Declaration to Nigeria and its allies. The government of the United States of Biafra hereby issues the following demands. End of occupation. Nigeria must immediately cease its illegal occupation of Biafra land and withdraw all their security apparatus from our territory. Just like Michael Rubin said, Nigeria is currently forcefully occupying a foreign land, which is the United States of Biafra. Stop the divisive tactics. Nigeria must end its instigation of Biafrans against Biafrans. Trust me, we already know these tactics. The government has uncovered this plot. Over 98% of Biafrans have uncovered this plot. Over 98% of Biafra that supports the United States of Biafra government under my leadership has already discovered this plot. And we will not allow such divisive strategies to undermine our unity. Cease resource exploitation. All activities relating to the illegal exploration and exploitation of Biafra's natural and mineral resources must be brought to an end. It must be brought to an end. The United States of Biafra is a sovereign state with all its natural resources, all the crude oil in Biafra land. And I want to use this opportunity to thank the the countries and organizations that have realized the independence of Biafra and are reaching out to continue their continued business is protected in Biafra land. Countries that support true democracy, freedom, human rights are encouraged to reach out to the United States of Biafra government to continue to get those natural resources you obtain from our land, from Biafra land. But this time you will continue to get it at the right price, at the right standard, with the right components, ensuring that our lands are not degraded. Any country that has signed any contract with Nigeria in relation to any mineral resources coming from Biafra land, we are calling on you to sever, cut off that contract immediately. The United States of Biafra government will continue to control its natural resources. Recognition of sovereignty. The United States of Biafra and its people must be accorded their rightful status as a sovereign state under international law. We've met all the criteria as an independent nation with a mapped out geographical location with a certain people that came together to declare their independence in Latin Finland, with over 50 million that have voted through a self-referendum to exit Nigeria. We have met all the criteria. We have all the legal backings. We have our Constitution of the United States of Biafra. We have the declaration document fully signed by over 1,000 Biafrans that met in Latin Finland. We have our currency. We have our allies that we are building. We have met all the legal criteria as a free nation that must be respected by every country and every people. We are not begging anyone. You don't have to give us our freedom. We, the people, have our freedom in our hand. All we seek is for you to respect that freedom with all the legal documents that have given us that backing. We also seek an end to transnational repression. Nigeria must immediately halt all acts of transnational repression as witnessed in Kenya and Finland. The world has witnessed the transnational repression conducted by the Nigerian state, of which they still continue to do in their own little way with their people, with the people that collude with them. We have those information. We ask you to stop. You cannot win to fight a free nation. We ask you to stop. Stop collusion. Nigeria and its allies must cease all forms of collaboration and collusion aimed at undermining Biafra and its people. If you are a nation colluding with Nigeria, if you are an organization colluding with Nigeria, we ask you to stop. We ask you to stop. The people have spoken. Cancel exploitative contracts. All contracts concerning the illegal exploration and exploitation of Biafra's resources must be discontinued without delay. And do not go into any new contract that has to deal with the crude oil that comes from Biafra land. Do not enter into any of that contract with Nigerian state. The people must defend their land. We will defend our natural resources. We will defend our land, and we will defend our people. To the people of Biafra, remain steadfast. Hold your head high. Remember always that you are citizens of an independent nation under illegal occupation. Each day, we move closer to the systemic removal of all Nigerian forces and their agents from our land. I promise you, we are doing that by the seconds, by the minutes, because we have peacefully written to them to leave our land. We have peacefully written to the Nigerian state to leave Biafra land, to withdraw their reintegrated terrorists they gave AK-47, wearing Nigerian military and police uniform. We have written to them to peacefully leave our land. Biafra will defend our land. Biafra will defend its people. Biafra will defend their natural resources. Like I said, each day we move closer to the systemic removal of all Nigerian forces and agents from our land, and nearer to the moment when the world will recognize the Biafra flag as the banner of a sovereign and independent state, of which we were an independent nation between 1967 and 1970. We have reactivated some of those policies, some of those ideals that existed at that moment. And I want to tell Biafrans, we are very, very happy. We've succeeded. We are succeeding by the minute with the support we are getting. The United States of Biafra citizens are mostly Christians. Nigeria has been declared as the most dangerous place in the world for Christians to live. That is part of the reason why we've declared our independence to exit Nigeria. We must safeguard the lives of our people. We do not want to live in a country that reintegrates and rehabilitates non-terrorists into their country. Hire them into the military, into the police, into the security. Hire them. They are part of the politicians. Most of their politicians are reintegrated terrorists. So any country at this time dealing with any Nigerian politician in any ramification, just know that you are promoting terrorism based on court orders from countries across the world. On behalf of the government of the United States of Biafra, I declare, long live the United States of Biafra. Long live our people. And may God bless our liberation.